Алтай атыраудың арасы, тау бауыры өзен көлдің жағасы. Жастайынан жет атасын жаттаған, сақтаған, тегі мықты мен қазақтың баласы. Жау қолынан жыртылмаған жағасы, ат үстінде ғұмыр кешкен бабасы. Теуіп қалса темір үзіп өтетін, қайсар туған мен қазақтың баласы.
Hello, my name is Yerassyl. Today I will talk about colonization of Kazakhstan by the Russian Empire. The very process of joining the Kazakh Khanate to the Russian Empire began in 1731 on 10th of October. Abulkhair Khan and the foreman of the junior Jas, due to the difficult situation in the war with the Dzungars, swore allegiance to Empress Anna Ivanovna. Then in the middle of the 19th century, the middle and senior Rus continued the process of joining, and it was finally completed in 1864 to 1865. And finally, the Kazakhstan left the tutelage of Russia only in 1991, after the collapse of USSR and gaining independence. During this time, the existence and life of the Kazakh people have undergone various changes. The main reasons for the accession of Kazakhstan to Russia is the critical situation of the Kazakhs during the long war with the Dzungars. In addition, the accession of Kazakhstan to Russia was mutually beneficial, because as Peter I said, Kazakhstan is the golden gate to Central Asia. They thought the prospect of entering trade with Central Asia through our lands, and due to the fact that our country was rich in various resources, the colonization of Kazakhstan was beneficial to both sides. Also, Kazakhstan experienced problems at the front with the Kalmyks and Bashkirs, and joining Russia solved this problem too. After colonization, Kalmyks and Bashkirs and I lived under the same roof of our older brother Russia. During the process of colonization, various reforms were taxed on our land. For example, in 1822 there was a reform of the charter on the Siberian Kyrgyz. And at the very least, the fact that the Kazakh people were called Kyrgyz sounds discriminatory. It is obvious that the reforms infringed on local residents. The next reform in 1867 was of an administrative nature. First, as a result of this reform, the lands of Kazakhstan officially became the property of Russia. In Kazakhstan, a 5-stage territorial administrative system was created. And this reform was approved by Emperor Alexander II. The great figures of the Kazakh people Abay Kunanbayev and Shokan Walikhanov criticized these reforms. The industry that has suffered the largest number of changes is the sphere of culture of Kazakh people. There were both positive and negative aspects in the influence of the colonization process on the culture of Kazakhstan. For example, due to the process of Russification and the infringement of the Kazakh language, it suffered greatly. However, the sphere of education, cinematography, there was the elimination of illiteracy and so on. The great Kazakh thinker Abay Kunanbayev brought to light about 170 works, translated Pushkin's works, and contributed to the spiritual development of the people. Among other things, the first Kazakh, Amrek Ashobayev, was able to think at the World Expo in Paris. Director Shaken Aymanov was able to create such films as The End of the Ataman, Atamiken, and others. We switched from the Arabic alphabet to Latin alphabet and then to the Cyrillic alphabet. And from our usual training in the madrasah, the field of education began to take on a more secular character, and textbooks began to appear. Isif Kuralı, Tel Kuralı by Baytursunov and Dulatulu, Mirakul Dulatulu, Geography by Alihan Bukihan, History of Kazakhstan by Marjan Jumabayev, Didactics by Aymautov, and so on. In my opinion, such progress in the sphere of culture was a huge advantage of our alliance with Russia. In conclusion, I want to say about that the process of colonization of Kazakhstan is an integral part of the difficult history of the Kazakh people, and this process lasted for about 250 years, and the sequels are felt to this day. Everyone can have their own opinion about the benefits or harms of joining Kazakhstan to Russia, but this had both positive and negative sides. This is a highlight of history as a science, and most importantly, that the difficult time was experienced. And the task of the current generation of Kazakhstan is to make the maximum contribution to the development of the motherland as our ancestors once did. Thanks for attention.